couple of days back, a teenager, just 16 years old, Mila, in France, made a statement. And the result is an uproar. She has not been able to go to school, though the government is trying its level best to ensure that she does go to school, but she is receiving death threats. As a matter of fact, she made an Instagram statement. As a result of the statement, some fanatics called her a lesbian, which she is not. Naturally, this personal abuse, a dirty lesbian, cannot be tolerated by any sensitive person, and this young girl, 16-year-old, clearly said that Islam is a religion of hate. Well, that people have started calling a hate speech, and she says no. People called her a racist and said no, you cannot be racist towards a religion. That is what she said. She also said that she will not apologize, although she is sorry for having hurt some people who pray according to Muslim religion, and she didn't want to hurt them. But at the same time she said that the hate or the anger that they spew is clearly not in consonance with any religion. And if a religion says that you have to die for expressing your opinion, then what she says is greatly true according to her and according to many. Correct. Hate speech is when you make a hate speech hoping to injure that body, defamation, hurt, everything. If calling her a dirty lesbian is not a hate speech, how is calling an organized religion where there have been instances galore, not one, not two, but thousands, where the people have been killed, where even the Muslims have been discriminated against by that religion? For example, MDR, the Shia-Sunni divide, all that should. But I'm not concerned with the religion as such. I'm concerned with the freedom of speech and the so-called hate speech that is supposed to be upheld by politically correct people. Now imagine if Mila had been in Canada and she had made a statement like this, the resolution 103 passed by the parliament would have been applicable. She would have been arrested, she would have been persecuted, she would have been prosecuted. But France is very clear. They have a very strict secular constitution. And according to the constitutional law 0/20, it is forbidden to insult the followers of the religion, but one can insult a religion. You cannot say that the Muslims are terrorists, but you can say Islam is terrorist. Let's be very clear. There's a difference. You can criticize an institution. You cannot criticize the followers of that. So, Mila's life is on hold. And hold for what she and many say is her right of freedom to express her opinion. Mila has apologized for insulting people who practice the religion in peace, specifying those who practice in peace. She says she has been vulgar and she should not have been that, but she has no regrets about what she said because that's a thought, that's an idea. People have asked her that Now if you call it a religion of hate and people are going to kill you, you have not been able to attend the school since you made a statement. But she says, no, I cannot be cowed down by the threats made by people who have no right to make a threat. And is it really a hate speech? There is a lot of reason, a lot of logic in what Mila says. Hate speech is towards a people, to living beings. Religion is not a living being. It represents something. Okay. The literal meaning of Islam is peace. Fair enough. Many Muslims are not terrorists. Perfectly all right. But have there been no instances of terrorism from the followers of Islam? Have the minorities not been divided? And what about the role of even the refugees who have come to Denmark, who have come to Italy, who have come to Germany? And they came as refugees and then now they want to dictate. The same is in Canada. The only difference is where the leadership is impotent, supine, stupid, idiotic, they would say, well, this is a hate speech. A nationalist leader, a committed leader, a leader who upholds the freedom of speech would say, no, it's not hate. It's an expression of opinion. She has not insulted an individual. She has not insulted even the followers. She never says that the Muslims are hateful. No. She says it's a religion, it's an entity. And then a group of people forming a cult or religion are different from the people who follow it. If I say Islam is a religion of peace, as it is said, then why all the terrorists? All the terrorists. And I'm not talking of Islam alone. Let's be very clear. I'm talking of any organized religion which has set rules, and the followers of the religion, okay, follow a system which is antithetical to the others. Nothing can be resolved for fighting or for killing. Suppose you killed Mila. You killed the Danish cartoonist. What happened? You killed the journalist in England. What happened? Sorry, in France. Did it solve the issue? Did people stop saying that Islam is breeding terrorists? And not Islam again as such. Because if you read Quran, on the one side Quran says kill all the infidels. On the other side Quran also says that killing one individual is killing all the humanity. So there are contradictory statements and you can't cherry pick one or the other. But you also cannot deny that the followers of the religion have indulged in heinous acts. If you look at the history, whether it was Genghis Khan, Nadir Shah, Muhammad Shah Abdali, Mahmud Ghazni, Muhammad Gauri, Osama bin Laden, and so on. The list is endless. And each one of them was responsible for killing not hundreds, not thousands, but the millions of the people. I belong to India. I was born in an area which is now called Pakistan. I have got excellent Muslim friends. Individually, they are great. They are all more than members of my own family. And people, my friends, know it. We have absolutely, and even they tell me that this is what is true. is bad, is not in consonance. But if it's not in consonance, then why is it tolerated? Why the madrasas, the teaching schools, teach few hate? Again, I'm not talking about that. Today I'm saying only one thing, that France is showing the real way to real freedom of speech. The teenager is being given all the protection after calling Islam a religion of hate. She posted her comments and called it a religion of hate after the Muslim commentators had called her a dirty lesbian. Now, why should that commentator not have been arrested makes me wonder. And the post of this girl, Mila, has sparked a huge debate over freedom of speech. Let's be very clear. France, as I said, has no national blasphemy laws and is rigidly secular. Now, police opened two investigations. First, whether Mila was guilty of hate speech, and secondly, into her online attackers. After the investigation, after scrutiny, the police has dropped the charge of hate speech as Mila was expressing a personal opinion on religion and not targeting individuals. That's what I've been saying. She did not target any individual. You are guilty of hate speech if you target one living human beings who are psychologically, mentally hurt. Religion as such is not, cannot be a target of hate speech. The way it has been said. This Islamic phobic concept is absolutely unacceptable if you want to promote freedom of speech and freedom of expression. That is just like killing Galileo because he said sun moves around the earth. It is just like Socrates being made to drink hemlock. It is just like that Bruno had to sacrifice his life. As a matter of fact, hate speech, all these are tools and the instruments to suppress freedom of speech. And I'm so happy that the French government has not succumbed to the pressure despite a huge population which is believer in Islam and has said no, she's guilty. As a matter of fact, Mila's life is clearly on hold. She had to leave school and she was threatened with being burnt with acid, made naked in public and buried alive. These had been threats made to her. So, those people who are making threats, they should be punished first. And the girl has already said that she is sorry for having hurt the followers. She doesn't want to do that. She has said she is sorry for the vulgarity. Let there be grace. But then does that mean if a teenager expresses his or her opinion, he or she should be a target of such nasty comments and hate? No. Then if you think that you are really large-hearted, gracious, then why this pettiness? And why this lust for blood? Why demean and demolish a teenager? Her comments might be offensive to some, but do they call for death sentence? As a matter of fact, I appreciate Muhammad Musafi, who is the head of the French Council of the Muslim Faith, who says that her comments do not justify her death threat, no matter how serious they are. As a matter of fact, her attack has been called an attack on freedom of conscience. No, it's a personal opinion. And you want to crush a teenager for expressing a personal opinion is absolutely not accepted. Again, I laud France for upholding this important concept of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And I would also appreciate these Muslim leaders who say that she doesn't deserve death threat. This sort of graciousness, understanding is required. And as I said, France has shown the way to countries like Canada, who are so desirous to be politically correct that even expressing personal opinions becomes a crime. And the sooner we accept that fact, the better it would be. Freedom of speech must be there, must not be curtailed. Otherwise, we are curtailing human initiative. And if you want to be human, you have got to express yourself. Not in an offensive manner, but personal opinion, according to me, should be rebutted rather than persecuted and prosecuted. Thank you.